Well, my name is Amy, as you know already. I do weddings, I plan weddings. We work with corporate clients, we do birthdays, surprise proposals, anything, any happy celebration. And it's been a good 12 years now that I've been doing this. Well, most of the parties are all happy parties and happy occasions, as I said earlier. And it's full of sweet and happy moments, so that's where the sugar bit comes. And then spice meaning not every wedding is the same, it's all full of a variety of different aspects and all that, and that's where the spice comes in. And of course, you know the caption where people always say sugar and spice and everything nice. So that's where we are. We want to plan everything nice for you, and that's why sugar and spice.
Hello lovebirds, welcome to the wedding fair. My name is Amy and I'm so happy that you've tuned in today. We have such great tips for you guys, for anyone and everyone who has just said yes to the ring, just said yes to your honey. You are in for a treat. You've definitely tuned in at the right time. I also know that there is another right time right now, which is stress, maybe, happiness for sure, and joy, and probably so much emotions going through your mind right now. If you've just been engaged, you really have no idea what's gonna happen next other than getting married. You probably won't be wondering how many things you have to do. There are so many, and you probably don't even know where to start, right? So fear not. If the thought of planning your own wedding has you reaching out for a few bottles of wine, do not worry. I'm really here today to share with you what we call the super simple 20 steps to planning your own wedding. It's a checklist. I hope you can see it here. We're going to break it down into 5 categories, and we're going to start with the very first one, which is called the big picture. So obviously, once you've already been engaged, other than saying and telling all your friends and family the good news, the next thing you really have to do as a couple is to sit down, you and your honey, and have a really good heart-to-heart talk. You want to lay down all your cards and talk about the budget. So the budget should be the very first thing that you talk about. Obviously, with the kind of budget that you have in mind and have decided and worked together as a couple, right now you're a team. You're no longer 2 individuals, you are one. Almost. You haven't really said yes, I do to the whole world yet, but you got to think of it that way, right? So anyway, the budget is going to be the foundation with which you build everything up upon. So think of your wedding planning process like building a house, right? You need to get a good solid foundation, and then everything else that you build on top of it is going to stand strong and stand well and good for a long time. Okay, so the budget is going to be the first thing that you want to talk about. Once you know the budget, then you can move on to the next thing, which is the guest list. So as you all know, we are going through very special seasons and times at the moment. We can celebrate weddings now, yay! But there are rules and regulations, there are SOPs in place for every wedding or every event. And so now that you have your budget, the next thing you want to do before you actually look into your guest list is to go to the venue that you've chosen, or some of the venues that you've streamlined down. Ask them what is their new capacity, what is their new maximum capacity with the social distancing in place, meaning 1 meter apart from each other. I believe tables where it used to sit 10 can now only sit 5. So you definitely need to get from the hotel or the event place or the restaurant, ask them what is their maximum capacity. Now with that in mind, you then can decide on your guest list. So if you want a bigger guest list, or if you have a bigger guest list, obviously you need to go for a bigger venue, right? So once you have that locked down, then you can start doing a preliminary guest list. It's not going to be carved in stone because, as time goes by, when people RSVP, some may say yes, some may say no. So you want to have like a few categories. The core list, guest list, and then after that, the secondary one, or the bliss. It sounds bad, but But you know how it is with weddings, right? Not everybody can say can attend, and you really, once you've committed the venue and the capacity with the hotel or the restaurant or the event space, you really want to maximize it out. And empty spaces is not so nice. And I'm sure you want the more people to be celebrating with you, the happier, right? Now, so once you've had that locked in, and then you can look into the kind of style of the wedding that you like. There are so many styles. There can be theme styles, or there can be weddings where simple and simple is also a style, right? Classy is a style, romantic is a style, or some kind of theme like the Great Gatsby, or some people actually have Shanghai Night and things like that. So those are all different styles that you want to consider. This would be the big picture because it's going to set the tone towards the entire wedding. Your budget, the style, and then the guest list. Okay, so this one we've covered is the big picture. Now, next thing we do is look for your primary vendors. It takes a village to put together a wedding. Trust me. We've been doing this for 14 years, and we've done it from east to west, from north to south. We do it in Singapore, we do it in Penang, obviously where we're based, we do it in Malaysia, we've gone as far as Las Vegas before, and Bali. So it really does take a village to plan a wedding. So the primary vendors, now these are vendors that you cannot not have. Okay, you cannot live without. So what are these pieces? Obviously the venue. You can't have a wedding if you have no venue, right? And then maybe your outfits, the bride and groom's outfit, right? You need to wear something, right? And then after that, I would say photographer. So important. You can, I think, end of the day, years after the wedding, once you have a little family of your own, you really want to look back and reminisce and remember the wonderful memories and think of, the flow of the day. And nothing will give you this emotion or the memory other than pictures. Truly pictures. So photographer is really important and something you cannot say no to. You must have, right? Whether or not you hire a professional one or you get a friend or family who's an enthusiast, do it. You must have it. Okay. Now the next thing is videography. We would like to think that they are also your primary vendor, because while photos are still, videos move, right? Video, you can actually record down all the speeches and the vows that you say to each other. I guarantee you, if you watch it every year on your wedding anniversary, it's going to be so much fun. And once you have kids, you can show your kids and it'll be fun. And next time your grandkids as well. So be sure to keep it in the current form, okay? Because right now everything is soft copy, is MP4. I don't know what it's going to be in the future, but be sure to keep it current, okay? So that would be your primary vendors: the venue, your outfits, the photographer, and the videographer. Okay, things that you cannot not have. Now on to the secondary vendors. The secondary vendors are people you may or may not choose to engage. Again, there is no right or wrong for any wedding. There is no rule that it says you must do this or you mustn't do that. Every wedding is unique and it should be uniquely you. Okay? The wedding should showcase what you and your other half like, what the two of you really are in life and your personality. So feel free to go all out and personalize it. Okay, so while I'm saying that, the secondary vendors would be people like your hair and makeup artists. So they're actually the same person. The makeup artist will also handle the hair fee. Why do I say this is secondary? We have had couples, or at least the bride, where maybe they're very good with makeup and their own hair, and they can do it themselves. And they end up looking, themselves, but even more radiant on the same day, on the special day, right? I would say if you can and engage someone, maybe do it, simply because on your wedding day you don't want to have to, work, right? You just want to sit down and be dolled up and have like a team of 10 people moving around fussing over you and your hair and your makeup. So it would be nice to have it, but I would still put it under secondary category for vendors, because some brides do their own hair and makeup. Okay, so now the next thing would be a stylist. What is a stylist? A stylist is actually the person who's going to rate your style that you decided on. So this could be the decorator and the florist as well. So they are two of the same thing. The florist or the decorator should be able to also be a stylist to let you know what works in that ballroom or in that restaurant or in that event space, what doesn't work, what makes sense, and what fits in your budget, right? And following your theme. So they would be the ones to go to when you need all of the information and also the professional advice on how to create your dream wedding. Okay, now then the next person would be a celebrant or an MC. During the ceremony, which is when you say your I do, the celebrant is the one who's going to officiate the whole thing and orchestrate the whole celebration. At night, when you're celebrating, or even a luncheon, if you decide to have your reception as a luncheon or dinner, the MC is then the person who's going to orchestrate the flow of the night and help bring your guests along with the tempo of the night. Now, this one I would say is also secondary because these days there are many couples who choose to use their friend or family to be the officiant or the celebrant or the MC in this case. It's nice because it's someone who knows you and someone who knows, some jokes and some inside stories and is better able to relate with you and also to tell your guests about it in a more convincing way. But bear in mind, once you get a friend or family to do it, he or she is not going to be able to enjoy the night much, right? He or she may not be able to drink much because they need to obviously keep a good proper decorum. They cannot obviously be pussy on the stage, and also he or she is not going to be able to party along like a normal guest. So there's good, there's bad, there's pros and cons. Again, every wedding is uniquely you. You decide whether you want to engage a professional or you want to use a friend or family. Obviously, the professional is going to make a difference, a big difference, right? He or she does it for a living, so they know how to troubleshoot any hiccup that comes along the way, if there are any. If, let's say, there's a technical error, you don't have to worry. These guys are going to be able to tell some jokes and divert the attention away from whatever the issue is. So yes, the secondary vendors, let me recap again, would be the hairstylist and makeup artist, who are two of the same person, or florist or decorator, who's also going to be the stylist for the decorations, right? And then the celebrant or the MC. So these people are secondary vendors. Okay. Now, after you have sorted all those things out, now I'm telling you in a hierarchy so that you will also engage. This tells you the importance of the people that you need to engage with. Okay, you deal with the big picture, then you deal with your primary vendors, and then you deal with your secondary vendors. Now, once you've gotten all of that out of the way, you can go into the details. You can focus into the details. Now, what do we mean by the details? Obviously, the first thing that comes into my mind when we say details would be invitation cards. So the invitation card is going to go out to your guests. If you have guests who are flying from abroad and people who are flying from far away, you would send what we call a save the date. The save the date can go out the minute you know you're getting married and you know which city in which you're getting married and the date, obviously, right? It need not have the nitty-gritty about the exact location. It need not have the nitty-gritty about the time and things like that. People just need to know that they need to take leave. They need to apply for leave from their work. And buy the flight tickets and plan to arrive the city where you're actually having your wedding during that time. Okay, so send out your save the date as soon as you know those picture details. And again, these are for guests who are flying in from abroad. Now, the ones who live locally, they are going to be very happy to receive a physical card. Although these days we're saying go green as much as you can. We do know that certain generation, they prefer to have a physical card. Now, this card can go out as early as or as close as 3 months before the wedding. If you send it to them too early, they may forget about it, right? So send it out maybe 3 months before the wedding and have the RSVP like a month and a half before the wedding. So hopefully people will get back to you. If not, there will be lots of phone calls to make and lots of people to text, right? So now, once you've gotten the invitation cards out of the way, then you want to look into your bridal party outfit. So for couples who choose to have a huge bridal party, you've got all your bridesmaids and all your groomsmen. Again, since you already have your theme, you may want to dress them up according to the theme. So now is when you start shopping for, identical outfits, or at least the colors that they need to match, or maybe a pocket square or a tie or bow tie, or the girls can have like matching, shoes or something, right? Again, this is up to you, your own style, your own preference. Okay, so once you've gotten that done, the next thing is to go ring shopping. Now you have your engagement ring on your finger already by then, but we're talking about shopping for the wedding bands. Now, it's a good time to go together. You have to go together, obviously, because you need to get it fitted and all that. And some people have it like inscribed inside. They have engraved. They have something good and nice engraved inside. Again, you can choose to have this as well. Go ring shopping, okay? And then probably favors, wedding favors. Some people choose to gift their wedding favors, or maybe your own bridal party, you want to have a little thank you box for each and every one of them. So these are the details that you want to start looking at. Okay, take your time. Lots of things can be bought online, but okay. So again, the details would be invitation cards, your outfits for the bridal party, the bridesmaids and the groomsmen, rings, ring shopping, wedding band shopping, and then wedding favors. So these are the things that we call the details. Okay, so now once you get to that stage, you would be very close to the wedding. It would be things like, I think, at least 3 to 6 months to the wedding. Okay, now the next step is actually the loose ends. The loose ends would be things like 3 months to the wedding. Okay, so during this time, you would definitely want to go and probably start having your beauty regime, start doing your weekly facials, maybe go to the spa to have a scrub, so that your skin is nice and fresh. And this goes for both guys and girls, okay? It's not just the bride. The groom can partake in all of this as well. So yeah, start engaging into a nice beauty regime, but don't do anything too drastic and too radical, because the last thing you need is to have like a breakout on your skin, or the last thing you need is to have fiery red hair. And so do things that you normally would do that is good for your skin, but just do it more frequent, right? Since it's just 3 months before the wedding. Now, this is also when you would like to have the last single night party. Some people actually go away for your hands trip or your stack trip. You can actually go away for a weekend, or just celebrate locally and have like just one night out with the girlfriends or with your guy friends, right? So you would want to do this and get it out of the way as well. Usually the bridal party will be your bridesmaid, your maid of honor, or even your best man would be taking the lead in planning what to do. You shouldn't know too much about your hands trip or your stack trip at all. Leave it to them and be surprised. Okay, and remember, take lots of photos and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Okay, now this is also when you want to go into the boring bit, which is actually the marriage license bit. So 3 months before the wedding, you need to make sure that you've got all the licensing done, or at least you have the dates locked in with the National Registration Department. There are procedures, there are timelines, there are forms to fill in and submit, so you don't want to be late for this. Okay, so please remember the legal things as well. Now, it's also the time where you start looking into your wedding day schedule, timeline, the timetable for the day. Every minute, every hour, you need to sort it all out. You need to speak to all of your vendors, because they will be able to tell you, okay, we need X amount of time to get you ready. So work backwards, If you know that your garden ceremony is going to start at 5:30 or 5, work backwards. Tell your makeup artist that you need to be ready like an hour before that, because you have lots of time for photos. Your photographer and videographers will need to take lots and lots of photos, right? So give them a whole hour if you can. And also that's when you can relax a little bit, and kind of go into the zone and just be in the moment, right? So tell your makeup artist when you need to be ready by, and then they would advise you and let you know. And also work with the banquet team. Let them know that you will walk down the aisle at 5:30 and you would expect cocktails to start at 6:30. So all the drinks and snacks and all the food needs to be ready. If you're ordering a cake, the cake lady or the cake people need to be there in time, and so share with all of the vendors, anyone and everyone who's involved, your bridal party especially, and your family members as well, parents. Share with them this timeline, and this one you really need to work on it. It's a bit of a homework, but it's really like the script for the entire day. The MC is going to thank you if you have something like that. Your celebrant will also thank you, so it's really good. Make sure you sort this out. Okay. And then finally, you can start thinking about your honeymoon. So obviously you need to also plan for the honeymoon. You would need to make bookings. So look into that as well. But some people choose to have the honeymoon much later, way after the wedding. So they just want to get married first and then, settle down and unwind from all of the marriage, the wedding stress before they kickstart the honeymoon plan. Again, there is no right or wrong, no hard and fast rule. To each their own, and every wedding is unique and uniquely you, right? So that would be the tying up of loose ends, which covered your beauty regime, your hand or your stag trip, and then sorting out the marriage license, and start processing your wedding day schedule, and finally planning your honeymoon. So that's it, guys. That would bring you to T-0, your wedding day. So again, on your wedding day, do nothing other than enjoy the day. All of the homework that you've done before that, if you have a planner, the planner is going to do all the homework for you, obviously. All of the stress goes onto the planner's head, or wherever. It's not going to be you. You just sit down, the two of you just sit down, relax, smile a lot. Keep hydrated, very important. Keep hydrated, relax, smile, and let it go. Okay? Anything and everything that you've planned, trust that you plan well. Trust your vendors. Trust anyone and everyone who has been given a duty, that they would do it for you, and you just let it go. Okay? End of the day, the wedding is but one night, right? So I think the focus here should be the marriage and your journey together as one, which is going to last way longer than just one night, right? So we wish you all the best, and I'm sure it's going to be an exciting time and your wedding together. It's so important, and you will discover something about each other that you never knew if you go through this journey together. I would say a good overall timeline is anything between 12 to 8 months. If you feel like you need longer time, you don't want to stress out, then by all means, it can be more than 12 months ahead of the wedding if you need to plan. But then again, we've done wedding planning for a couple, 10 days before the wedding, so I think it can be done, but it's just, less fun because it's so stressful. But we wish you all the best. It's going to be an amazing journey, and you must enjoy every step of it. And if you ever feel very stressed out and like you're gonna pull your hair apart, get a planner. Look for a planner, and then all of this will be gone. No issues. So enjoy the rest of the virtual wedding fair. We have so many promotions coming up for you guys. Stay safe, everybody, and start planning your wedding, because we can now have weddings again. Yay! Thanks so much. Have a great time. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.